You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Cabral Concept. Great to have you here today on our first Cabral HouseCall of the weekend. Each and every weekend, we go through two shows, two podcasts, one on Saturday, one on Sunday is when they debut, and we typically answer between 5 and 10 questions from our community. I never know what they're going to be. Even today, I haven't seen any of the questions. I really like it that way. It's more organic. It's as if, someone stopped me at a conference, which they do all the time, or they're sitting in front of me and they ask me a question. I'm not going to go and sift through my library to research or, any previous case studies, anything like that. Because this is not meant to be a specific case that I'm working on, but giving a person an alternative, a new way of thinking, or another avenue that they might be able to go down. Because remember, when we look at our overall health, when we look at weight loss, there are a few different ways to tackle every single problem. So a lot of people will look at it from the perspective, I'm going to go lower carb or lower calorie or increase my exercise. Now, in various degrees, they can all work. The problem is that most people never arrive at a place where they can maintain. So, they'll beat up their body, forgive me for a lack of a better way to say it, but they will by going too low in calories, too low in carbs, too much exercise. They'll do those things, but what happens is, where do they go from there? That's a lot of times the missing link, or a lot of times is, where's the best place to get started so that you don't have to do those things? Is it thyroid? Is it adrenal? Is it hormone related? Is it inflammation? Is it toxicity? Which one of those are the issue of your underlying root cause or causes? So the nice thing is that, now more than ever, we're able to pinpoint it. We're able to send out those at-home lab tests. And when you work with a great company, you're able to trust the results. They're through third-party labs, and they enable you to say, okay, there's probably a couple things I need to work on, but this right here is staring me in the face. I have really high levels of omega-6s to omega-3s, or I have estrogen dominance, or I have low DHEA and higher cortisol, lower vitamin D, while I have higher TSH and lower T4 to T3 conversion. And if you don't know what any of those things mean, that's okay. That's the benefit of having an integrative health practitioner or a health coach walk you through the practice. Don't try to become an expert yet. I would love for you to become an integrative health practitioner. By this time, we are now closed for IHP, but as you learn more about your health, you're going to take more control over it. That's the amazing thing. And then you're going to teach it to your family, hopefully, and then you'll share it with your larger community. That's how we all win in this. We all become healthier, and then we continue to build upon it. All right. That is my rant to start the host call. Now I'm going to pull up the first question of the today. I need to scroll back to where we left off from last week. And remember, every single podcast I've ever done is at stephencabral.com/podcasts. Soon to be on YouTube, but not quite yet. All right. So again, I'm looking forward to today's show. Follow along with all the questions over at stephencabral.com/1387. That's where you'll see all of the questions there, and we'll provide a lot of links there as well. Okay, first questions coming in from our community member, Kelly. Hello, Dr. Cabral team. Hope all is well with you. Just wondering if you take on any mentors or accept students into the integrative learning programs who are not practitioners. Listening to podcasts are fueling my fire passion for proactive and preventative health. Love all the facets of being human, mind, body, and soul, but also the interactions with every living thing on earth. I'm often overwhelmed of where to begin, being pulled in many different directions, with everything being so diverse. I need a solid foundation, someone with whose ethos I can jive with and come to respect in great awe. I thought maybe I could start here, put it out there and see if you're offering any training or mentorships, or maybe point out a good place to start. Keep on being brilliant and humble. Your open-mindedness, depth of knowledge, and emotional intelligence, and that simple love of sharing with others is something special, one of a great kind in my eyes, but that's only my perspective. Shine on, Kelly. Kelly, thank you very much. I'm feeling fantastic to start out the show, so I appreciate those kind words. And it's a nice way to start the show. I didn't know that would be today's question. So I can give you a bunch of places to get started. 2020, I don't feel like I'm ever been in a shell, but I could say that for sure. I was in my Boston shell, right? So I can't even tell you, from when I started practicing full-time 2000 to 2016, it was just me working with people. I did a little bit of online. I was the health correspondent for Diet.com, Self.com, Condé Nast, wrote dozens of articles for magazines like Men's Health, Women's Day, you name it. I mean, they're all out there, over 1,100 published articles, but still kind of in my shell. 2016, realized that I had already maxed out my practice, 20,000 appointments a year, dozens of people on my team. Do I want to keep expanding offline? And my answer was no. I mean, it's different for every practitioner. Practitioners live for that, right? That's their dream. It was mine as well. The nice thing is this, you're allowed to change your dreams. My dream changed. My dream said this to me. You did what you wanted to do. You opened your wellness center. You never thought in a million years, not in a million years, it wasn't even fathomable. So infinity, right? It just was not going to happen. And I won't go through all that today, but essentially it happened. And then we got to this great place. We couldn't take on any more people. What do? Do I open more locations? That wasn't a goal of mine. My goal of mine was to teach, not open up franchises or a lot of locations. So that's what I did. Started the podcast, and then we developed Integrative Health Practitioner last year as a way of people taking their own wellness to the next level and also deciding if they want to become a health coach. So that's over at integrativehealthpractitioner.org. I'm not going to promote it at all. You're welcome to apply online there to become a health coach with us. Love to have you. If you sign up now, you could potentially even become certified with level 1 in January. So that's a great thing. You start now and get certified if you're really cooking and you move through all those modules. So, all right, here's the thing though, and I'll make this quick, is that in 2020, there's no doubt we are going to explode with us trying to come out of our shell, right? So I'm going to do video. I'm going to do webinars. I'm going to do courses. I'm going to do live events, and we're going to do mentorship. So by, I would say, May or so, I'll be doing more mentorship and really teaching people. But also keep in mind, I'm going to be doing, and nobody really knows this yet, but I'm building out a brand new office in 2020. It'll be ready in January. And I hope by the end of that month that I'm going to invite around 4 people or so to Boston. And we're going to do a mentorship day. It's going to be the full day, starting from right after breakfast to basically dinner. We're going to go the whole day. We're going to go around with just those 4 people. I'm going to help you work on you as an individual, your goals, your vision, how to accomplish that. It's going to be a great day. And that's why I'm only bringing 4 people on. So it'll be at my personal office in Boston. We'll go to my favorite restaurant in the afternoon. I should say for lunch. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all of that today. Just stay tuned. That's it. Simply stay tuned to the podcast. You will be the first to know whenever those things launch. All right. Thanks, Kelly. Genia is up next. Dr. Cabral, I'm a level 1 IHP student and really enjoy studying the IHP Study Program immensely. You are so thorough. Love the details. Spending a lot of time on Module 4 because of the whole hormone, female hormone, nervous system, hormones, all speaks to me. I had adrenal fatigue and thank GD did the work. I feel better via great nutrition and pacing myself with yoga practice. Kundalini, that gave me calm ritual to practice while I was getting my strength back. I have so much to share, but fast forward, 2017, I went 40 OBGYN pap smear and found a cyst on my left ovary. Treatment, surgery, I'm BRCA or BRCA 1. Very into my game and doing the work. All right, let me get to your question specifically. Again, everyone can write in and read these questions at stephencabral.com/1387. I want to do the detox and the tests. I'm writing here because I need more specific guidance. I don't know that the IHP on Facebook are comfortable to answer my questions, waiting for support with, should I do the thyroid adrenal hormone and the 21-day detox? I eat pretty clean and juice, do smoothies daily, love your protocols, need more guidance, though, to keep clean and toxic free. Thanks so much. Love being a student. Forever grateful to you, your vision, and team of shining lights. Thank you, Genia, for writing in. We appreciate you. So, I just want to let you know on Facebook, we can't treat, diagnose, cure disease. It's just we can't do any of those things. But what we can do is we can recommend. So for sure, you wrote in on October 16th. It's about, the 21st or so today? 23rd today. Okay. So wanted to let you know this, though. Yes, based on you finding a cyst, I would run the thyroid adrenal hormone that we call the mood, mind, stress, metabolism-based test over there. Easy, though. You'll be able to find it at equilibriumnutrition.com, and then just look at the labs page, and it will say, formerly thyroid adrenal hormone. So that's what I recommend first, but if you can also do the starter kit, that's what I'd recommend as well. So if I had to give you order of importance, it would be thyroid adrenal hormone, it'd be the minerals and metals test, then it would be the candida metabolism and vitamins test. So, of course, the big five is always the best, but if you were to choose three, that's the three in that order. And again, we look forward to helping you soon. I've done a couple podcasts on cysts, so you can certainly check those out as well. Daryl is up next. Hey, Dr. Brawl, watched the documentary film The Game Changers recently, and it espoused the virtues of a plant-based vegan diet over a meat-based one. I know you went over most of this several times in your podcast, and I'm grateful for that. However, I don't know if there was an agenda, but they were pretty convincing in their arguments that a vegan lifestyle has no drawbacks in strength, endurance, and actually boosts sexual performance in testosterone levels. Can you say if all of this is true, and if it's recommended for a VADA body type to go vegan plant-based? Is it true that meat industry paid athletes, film, and doctors to advertise their products and to try to present their own dubious research that meat is best and plant-based diet is weaker? As always, keep up the great work. Daryl, I appreciate that. And you wrote in on October 16th as well. Well, I published this on November 13th and November 15th just last week. And I went over the Game Changers review, so check that out. And then on Friday, I did a little recap. So you're welcome to check out both those shows. That was, let's see, for everyone, 1377 and 1379. The only thing I'll let you know is that the film was done over a shorter period of time. I can tell you, for a lot of men being on a plant-based only diet, sometimes cholesterol levels go down and testosterone levels go down to very low numbers. So for them, it doesn't mean that you can't be healthy that way, but I can just let you know that from a clinical perspective, just like I see keto throw a lot of women into hypothyroidism, I can let you know that sometimes this happens with testosterone levels as well. So here's the thing, though. I mean, if you want to be vegan, I support you. I always have. I've always have. I've really lived a vegan-based lifestyle for 2 6-month stints. And I'm plant-based. I really am. But keep in mind, what they didn't talk about in the documentary was all of the benefits, actually, from being plant-based with a little bit of fish. What do we call that? The Mediterranean diet. What have I talked about on the podcast for years? The foundations of all diets. Check out that podcast. It's about the Mediterranean diet. Plant-based, a little bit of fish, right? Because you can't, in all honesty, say that a little bit of fish in the diet is detrimental. It's actually helpful in terms of health. Now, let's say that you want to be completely plant-based, vegan completely. Well, just make sure that you don't become too catabolic and that you are eating enough protein for the day. And I know they say, oh, well, there's enough protein in broccoli. Well, here's what they don't tell you. And again, I'm always unbiased. You would need to eat a massive mixing bowl of broccoli at each meal just to get about 15 grams per meal. So what do you do instead? Well, do your daily nutritional support in the morning, which has your vegan-based protein. That's a vegan-based product. Do some hemp parts at lunch like I always talk about. And then at night, you might do some black beans, some hummus, and you'll be able to get your, about half your body weight. You don't even need that much, but about 0.8 per kilogram in terms of protein per day. So it's easy to do. You can do it. And then guess what? Run your labs. The data answers all questions. If in 18 months your testosterone levels are dipping, you're feeling weak, tired, and fatigued, because you'll probably feel great in the beginning, but maybe you don't after 18 months or 2 years. A lot of people, we see that on social media. They say, oh, I had to add back in oysters. I had to add back in a little bit of fish. Well, here's the thing. The data and the numbers dictate your overall health. Again, in my opinion, I've already been down the road. I've been down the journey. I am conscientious in how I eat. I eat cleaner-based foods. I'm almost entirely plant-based lifestyle, but I do eat a little bit of fish, and every once in a while, I do have some meat. So I'm not as dogmatic, but do I agree with 90% of what they talked about in the Game Changers? I do. Okay, Christian is up next. Good evening, Dr. Cabral. The Game Changers documentary just debuted on Netflix, and it refuted a lot of myths. Okay, we have the same one on Game Changers, but this one's asking, I heard soy increases estrogen in men, but they claim it's phytoestrogens. Okay, so they went on saying foods that contain estrogen are really chicken, eggs, dairy, which have an impact on hormones. For example, could I do soy protein shakes now without worrying about testosterone? Sorry for the long question. Thanks for everything you do. Great question. Okay, so Game Changers, but a different question on soy. I've done a podcast on soy. You can just go to stevencabral.com/podcast and type in soy, and you'll be able to find out things about estrogen there. Let me give you a little answer, though, here. So you can go in depth more on previous shows, but there's estrogen our body makes, and then if we take it in from a plant-based food, we call it phyto. I don't want to make this complicated, but when you think of phyto, think of more plant-based, okay? Phytonutrients, phytoestrogen. So it means that it's weak estrogen-like metabolites that would come from something like soy. Well, here's the thing. It's true. Soy contains phytoestrogens. Now, let me give you the pros. For women, postmenopausal, hey, it's been shown to actually be beneficial. Women premenopausal with estrogen dominance, maybe not so much. Maybe not so much, right? Now, why are they saying it's more beneficial? Well, also in men that have prostate-based issues, some phytoestrogens have been shown to also be beneficial. Why would they be beneficial? Let me go over it. Your cells have estrogen receptors, okay? So when you have estrogen from plants or your own endogenous, which means inside the body estrogen, they compete for uptake. If weaker plant-based estrogens bind to those receptors, there's less of the negative estrogen-based effects. So you actually get some benefit there. Now, for me, this is way back in the day, and I was studying a lot about the blood type diet, and I was doing a lot more soy. Well, the problem is, soy for me doesn't work. It creates this aromatization. I don't think I'm saying that correctly. Aromatized. But basically, and I'm not ashamed to say this, and I actually posted it on a podcast a while back, my left, basically the breast tissue, and even in men, my left nipple swelled up. And that was from the estrogen-based effects. Now, of course, I brought it to the doctors like, oh, this can't be. Well, here's the thing. It was. It did happen. I took out the soy protein shakes, and it went away. I tested them again, added it back in. 4 to 5 days later, boom, it went right back up. So here's the thing. I don't actually recommend soy for anybody as a processed soy form. I don't recommend drinking soy milk, and I don't recommend taking in soy protein powder. Too concentrated. Here's what I recommend. If you can have some soy, do it like they do with some of the longest lived people in the world in Asia. Handful of non-GMO sprouted tofu, which takes out a lot of the lectins and phytic acid, and could possibly be beneficial 1 or 2 times a week. I wouldn't have an issue with that. But soy protein, no. I would do a vegan-based protein powder like our daily nutritional support. Again, longer answer, but hopefully that was helpful. And yes, dairy absolutely can increase estrogen in the body. Absolutely it can. So, okay, there's that. Let's do one more question today. It's from Melinda. Just had my second baby. She's 7 months old, and I'm 37 years old. I noticed in the past month my skin's gotten very dry and scaly. I was anemic while I was pregnant, took iron supplements, which I'm currently taking now. Also, my thyroid was just shy of the lowest normal range, which my midwife said wasn't low enough to be a concern. Take vitamin C, zinc, calm magnesium, liquid fulvic acids, chlorella, LG-DHEA. My iron supplement. Would your B complex help my dry skin? Adding DHEA and extra flax and chia seeds in my diet. My question is, which of your supplements can I get right now that would help support dry skin for someone whose body is stressed out from the demands of nursing 24/7 and interrupted sleep? Also, would a lab test be recommended? Also, which would be the best, as doing all of them is a bit too much for my wallet? Are you still running a lab sale? P.S. I'm a regular podcast listener, and if it is in your scope of knowledge, it would be great to include any variation to your answers and topics discussed for pregnant and breastfeeding mamas, since our bodies and hormones are different than non-pregnant women, and I'll be breastfeeding for the next year and a half. That's a lot of podcast. Okay, Melinda, thank you for writing in. Appreciate you. Totally understand where you're coming from. The number one thing that you could do, because you have to understand, is this could be low thyroid. This could be low omegas. This could be dehydration. Remember, your hydration levels dramatically increase when you're nursing. And if you think about it, you need your own water, and then you need all of the milk that you are developing for your baby, right? It's extremely important. So up those water levels. For you, I'd recommend 2 smoothies a day. Why? You're going to get all the phytonutrients, there's that word phytonutrient, from your fruits and vegetables, and that's going to give you a big boost. If you want a little bit of more natural selenium for that thyroid, add in a Brazil nut if you want into that smoothie. Just drop it right in. Blend it up in your smoothie. No big deal. Do one a day. You get some selenium right in there. Add a little bit, just like you were saying, of clean algae. Not the algae DHEA. You're just not going to get enough DHEA that way, or omega-3s. It's going to be so small. If you do a lab, I would do the omega-3, and I would do a hair tissue mineral analysis. You can wait on the others, or food sensitivity tests would be great as well. But I would do the daily nutritional support. Balanced zinc is always a great one, but really, if you do the daily nutritional support, you'll get that. Vitamin C is great. Magnesium is great, especially at night. And I don't recommend a lot of supplements while women are pregnant or nursing. Now, remember, I do have a lot of podcasts on how to have a healthy and happy pregnancy, which includes pre-pregnancy, peri-pregnancy, and post-pregnancy, postnatal supplements and meal plans. So it is there. I just want you to know that. Those podcasts are available for you. And we don't run lab sales very often, but there will be probably something coming up, just kind of saying, for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Don't quote me on that. You didn't hear it from here. But I don't think I was supposed to say that. But anyway, maybe stay tuned. Okay, so that's where I would start. And the B complex, yes, one at lunch would be great. Hydration, omega-3s. If you're not vegan, I would use our omega-3 support, 1 or 2 capsules a day. You're going to get much more out of that. I mean, it's night and day. And again, I have the labs that just back it up. That's why I love lab testing, because it tells me, is this correct, yes or no? So besides that, you're on the right path. More hydration, more smoothies, phytonutrients. Use the daily nutritional support to your benefit. Again, I can't diagnose, can't cure, can't treat, can't even really give recommendations on a podcast. But I can say, hey, here's what I would do for my own wife, for someone in my practice. Based on the information you gave me, that's where I would go. Hopefully this has been helpful. Love what you're doing, Melinda. You're on the right path. Keep it up, and I'll talk with you soon. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and be tuned in tomorrow for part 2 of our Cabral House Calls. Take care. Again, if this podcast is helpful, anyone you think it might be helpful for, please do feel free to share it with them. Thanks. Take care. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues, and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice, so you can understand how you got here, and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.